Yo, what is up? Yeah, it's me. Oh shit, sorry. Sticky two's in the way. But yeah, back. Another video. Like, as you can see, things are a little different. The RTX, the fancy visuals or whatever, vibrant visuals, that's gone now since I put the texture pack, I put the plastic texture pack back on. But also, I put actions and stuff. So, just thought it'd be a neat little thing to try. If anyone has a preference between having the vibrant visuals or having the plastic with the animation pack, then just comment. I don't know. Do whatever you want, honestly. So I am in creative mode right now because I am by myself. I'm gonna do something a little different in this video. You're gonna just build a roller coaster instead of a Discord call. Since I'm by myself, I'm gonna just record myself just building, chilling, and yeah, back with the Crusader skin too, the Colonial Crusader. Maybe I should make an outfit in real life. If anyone would like to see that, let me know. But another friend recently joined the world and started building a house. For some reason, I brought a lot of my dogs here in the area to guard. But yeah, decided he wanted. He was jealous of Kriggy's view, so he wanted to build on top of the mountainside to, one up him. And yeah, I mean, this is a good view. You can see Kriggy's house right there. See the fucking missile and mysterious building in the main base. So yeah, building. Shit. Well, where do I even start? So to be honest, this is the first time I'm gonna be doing a Storytime video. Maybe the last one if this doesn't work out. I don't know. But I don't have too many exciting moments in my life. I gotta admit that. At least not exciting enough that would work for the story time, like videos you see on YouTube and shit. Like Luna, I mean, motherfucker's got experience. Anyway, because of that, I probably won't do too many videos like this, but it's something I want to try out. So yeah, let's get straight into it. The story takes place a couple years ago. This is when I was in high school. I want to say I was in 10th grade. So this was probably 2021, 2022. For context, I have been, and sometimes still am, pretty bored. Just like, as a kid, really bored. I just get these moments where I kind of crave some sense of adventure. Anyway, this was before I had a job, so besides the time spent doing homework, I would have a decent amount of free time on my hands. That sounds nice, right? Because of that, me and some of my friends would walk home after school, and sometimes we'll take detours whenever we'd walk together. We live in a pretty suburban area, so there wasn't a whole lot of stuff right next to each other. But between school and home, the main town area that has gas stations, stores, barbershops, a lot of barbershops, restaurants, shit like that. Sometimes, if we felt like spending a bit of cash, my friends and I would stop by 7-Eleven or something and we'd get snacks. There were a couple of different paths and routes that I could, that I would take, and it really depended on the day, what was going on, shit like that. So, on this particular day though, it was me and one other friend, Jay. You might recognize Jay. He's been in a couple of these videos. But Jay would also have this boredom problem that I had, except maybe more so for him. And, he'd also want to seek a sense of adventure. Sometimes, even now. So, yeah. Anyway. This was a day where we were both feeling hard. As we were walking out of school, getting by the various crowds of other kids trying to get as far away from that school as possible, because who wants to be there? We were going from school to the main town area, and I noticed something on the way, and it gave both of us an idea. The train tracks. For context, there's train tracks that divided two areas of the main town area. I know, I'm saying area a lot. And it stretched out far enough that if you followed one direction, you would probably end up near a shopping center or some shit. We thought the best cure to our boredom would be to follow the train tracks as far as we could. Surely it would spice up our afternoon before we head home. Honestly, there's a lot of times when I question my thought process, and this was definitely one of them. Before I continue, I just want to say that walking across the train track is a bad idea. Probably one of the most stupid things I've ever done during high school, or in general. And I think in some places it's illegal, so yeah. Anyway, we were walking across the tracks, and to give a visual idea, it's a set of two tracks that are next to each other, so that trains going in opposite directions can operate. The direction we went goes into this clearing of trees. I wouldn't say that it's a forest, but it probably was at some point. And before we get too far, we notice something strange. It's a weird shape. It's moving slightly, like an animal of some sort. I pointed out to Jay. We're both confused. We start approaching more cautiously, and maybe about 5 feet away, it notices us. It was a big bird of some sort, and I didn't know at the time, but apparently it's called a turkey vulture. I'll probably put a picture or some shit. But yeah, boom, turkey vulture. And it notices us. It stops doing what it's doing and just stares for a bit. So, the head-ass genius that I am, I got this bright idea of picking up a stick and throwing it. Please don't do that. Luckily, my aim was shit, so I didn't hit the bird, but it was enough to scare it off. After it flew away, Jay and I continued, and we went over to see what the bird was doing. Now, I'm not typically a squeamish person, but this did gross me out. What we saw was the upper half of a raccoon carcass. I don't remember seeing the lower half. What I do remember is almost accidentally stepping on some intestines that was just leaking out. Safe to say, we just interrupted that turkey vulture having snack. Yeah, after the couple minutes of being creeped out, we used a stick to move the raccoon off the tracks before continuing forward. And it was just so jarring, even though it is a common occurrence in nature, like it's a common thing. Just stumbling upon it, the scene like that is just, it's just weird. It's crazy. It's like a random encounter from a video game or something. But about halfway through our journey, we encountered another dead animal. This time it was a dead fox, flattered. Maybe a train got it or something. I don't know. What was extra weird is that an exercise ball was right next to it. That one wasn't flattened though. Yeah, it was still inflated. Considering that we just already saw the turkey vulture eating the raccoon, we weren't too freaked out by the flattened fox, but it was definitely weird to see, two dead animals back to back. Yeah, we didn't think much of it. So we continue on. Jay is yapping about Samurai Jack while doing some sort of lunge thrust dance. I don't fucking know. It's like a pseudo twerk, if I could describe it. But, even though I didn't know what the fuck bro was doing, I ended up joining him, so whatever. We were bored, like I said. We started getting far enough to where we have to go through these tunnels over the tracks. Now, no, it's not like those tunnels, those sewer tunnels in It or whatever. So, no, we didn't see no Pennywise. And I wouldn't be dumb enough to do that, okay? But it was more like, like bridge tunnels, because we got so far enough that a main road was bridging over the train tracks. So, I don't know if that makes sense to y'all how I'm explaining it, but just bear with me. Under the tunnels, we started noticing some shit though. Shopping carts, trash, random furniture, clothes, just a lot of random stuff. And the further we went, the more we noticed. We even saw some footprints, like maybe a dog, and we saw sleeping bags too. Now, and we saw enough to. It was evident that someone had probably lived there. That should have been the first sign of telling us, hey, maybe we should just head back, right? Hell, for people with common sense, this would be the only sign they need to just go back. Just walk away. So yeah, me and Jay kept going forward. As we were walking, I started yapping. I don't remember what about, but yeah, I'm just yapping, and then Jay stopped. And then he shut me up for a second. Before I could be like, bitch, why the fuck? He just he just got my attention. He was like, shh, bro, look. And he brings my attention to the distance ahead. And as I look and see what he's seeing, my 2 remaining brain cells finally made the connection. Because in the distance was a chair. More importantly, a figure in black had got up from that chair. I looked at Jay. Jay looked at me. We both looked back at that figure now standing. And without saying another word, we booked it, hauling ass until we were sure we were far enough. We kept going and going and going until we were in this area with buildings near the tracks. We went through a fence hole, and then once we were on the sidewalk, we finally then took a breath and just started heading back. And as we were heading back, we was like, what the actual fuck was that? That's about it. We headed back, just thinking to ourselves like, wow, we almost got into some shit. Maybe. I mean, we were talking about it, and it was most likely like a homeless dude or whatever. You never know, man. Or one could think it's a harmless homeless guy. There's also the possibility that like a tweaker or someone who also wasn't supposed to be there was there, and who knows what they were capable of. Moral of the story, don't do that. I mean, luckily me and Jay were with each other, so we kept each other in check, got each other's back. But yeah, I mean, we should have just done anything else but that. Definitely don't do that alone, because like, if that was me by myself, I probably wouldn't be here making this video. I don't know why I expected the story to be longer than it actually was, but we'll see what happens. Hope y'all were entertained. And if even despite me saying not to do something dumb like what I did, if you do it anyway, remember, always wear protection. Get the condoms. Bye.
There's a star